From the first day at Paverart, quality has always been top of mind, and of course that requires a partner of a like mind. Now, E.P. Henry's innovative ability to produce premium top quality pavers in custom colors, by the way, gives us the creative freedom to produce the very unique designs that we manufacture for our customers. Over the past 18 years since the creation of Paverart, we've maintained a very strong partnership with E.P. Henry. Now look, when the value of that relationship means more than the transaction, we know we've teamed up with the premier paver supplier that we know we can count on. It started back in 2003, and it was a conflagration of three things. It was the city of Wildwood, it was E.P. Henry, and it was a soon-to-be-started company called Paverart. The salesman for E.P. Henry met with Mick Soroka, one of the original founders of our business, and said, I got a problem. I want to be able to build designs for the city of Wildwood, 4 intersections and the adjoining crosswalks. How can we do that? Mick said, I can do that. I got a way to do that. We hadn't even started the darn business yet, but Mick's, that's Mick. Oh, we can do that. I can absolutely do that for you. And then there was all the working out of the details with E.P. Henry, special colors. This had never been done before in the history of concrete pavers, at least not that we're aware of, not to this extent. And we got the equipment in, and we started cutting about 2 months after the business was started. And that's how the relationship with E.P. Henry got started. And you can bet, for something like that, as stressful as it was, the bond of that relationship between our two companies got very strong very fast. The one thing I always noticed about Mick was he always took the time to show you the way things were done in the business. And I didn't know a paver from a 2x4 when we started the business. Mick basically took me under his wing for 1.5 years and was very patient with me. We used the E.P. Henry catalog. That's how he taught me about it in concrete pavers. To say he was the heart and soul of the business, I think is an understatement. I really do. He had stage 4 cancer. And from the time he found out about it till the time he passed was about 8 months. And he easily worked 7 months of that. So, quite the sacrifice. And he was, you'd never know he was sick. He just loved the business that much.
Summer of 2018, I came in at Paverart as the owner. I see these things, I see dirt everywhere, the gritty world of small business, manufacturing, great little name, Paverart, imagine, create, beautify. I've been in manufacturing my whole life. The work that I do today with Paverart really stands on the shoulders of the founder, Mick Soroka, whose DNA permeates everything at Paverart. I saw nothing but opportunity as I came through. I was not so naive to think any of this would be easy, because it's not. Paverart's got product in every conceivable market. If you look at the backyard at a home, a driveway at a home, major universities across the country, major professional sports teams, schools, corporations that want to put their logo into Paverart. Every single market across the country has some form of representation with Paverart. That's exciting to me. One of the first things that caught my eye at Paverart in Mike's office is a big pictogram landscape architect drawing of a big compass, a 40-foot compass. That caused us to strike up a conversation. What is that project? Well, that was Leonardtown, Maryland.
We are on Breton Bay, and right after the Civil War, they built the wharf down here and dredged the bay to be able to get in the boats that would travel the Potomac River and Chesapeake Bay from D.C. to Baltimore.
It was a very derelict property, burned out buildings, old pilings, and we cleaned it up. We designed this project with the help of Sam Crozier from Crozier Associates and his assistant Viola Postuma. And it was actually Viola who came up with the idea for the compass rose. And we all worked together on it. We went up to the factory and saw it at Paverart.
The compass rose is 40 feet in diameter. This probably took about 2 years to come to final fruition. There are several aspects into this that are incorporated by what we do. You've got banding, you've got sectionalized patterns, you've got lettering cut into the compass points, and then you've got standard patterns like herringbone, 45 and 90 degree. We also work with E.P. Henry to get all the different colors that were required to build this particular piece.
I'm Jeff Flick with Stepping Stone. Helped install the compass rose down here. It came down the road, approximately I think it was 17 pallets, individual layers. Paverart really did a great job of, essentially sending it down with the instructions, with the layout, with the technical aspects to be able to put it together one section at a time, starting from the middle. We had about, I think, a ½ inch to work with by the time we got to the outside diameter of it. So being dead on center was pretty crucial. It took us approximately about 2.5 to 3 weeks to overall install the actual compass rose portion of it. And it's definitely a nice look for the town of Leonardtown.
We've got a cause that's near and dear to our heart. My partner, Mike Bull, has a sister with autism. My daughter, Hope, she's 16 years old, she has Down syndrome. We had the opportunity to create a design for the Gloucester Township, a local New Jersey municipality, that we call it the Neurodiversity Design, and it had things like acceptance, inclusion, support, value in neurodiversity in partnership with the town and Paverart. The reality is we've got work to do in society to include people that might be different. And for me, the project, owner of Paverart, what's more important? Being the dad to Hope. So that's what that project really meant to me. Is I'm not naive to think that project's going to change the world, but can it start a conversation where the mom sees that and starts talking to her 13-year-old son or 13-year-old daughter? Maybe. All great change really starts with a conversation. So for me, as a father of Hope, and my partner Mike, as a big brother to Patty Ann, these things are important. Having those conversations start the process of creating positive change. I'm a big believer that as a business, if you're not growing, you're really dying. Relationships are either growing or they're not growing. So take E.P. Henry. We've known E.P. Henry for 18 years. COVID-19 was, nobody has ever lived through something like this. I mean, it's almost cliche at this point to think about how different the world is today. But when you think about partnerships, isn't that, I call it the 2 a.m. friend. When you're broke down on the side of the road in the morning at 2 a.m., who are you going to pick up the phone and call? So Paverart's trying to navigate this. Who am I texting at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday? I'm texting E.P. Henry to figure out what's going on. And we're having conversations back and forth. As I think about partnerships and the world of growth and where you got to go in the future, I think about the 2 a.m. friend. So thinking about COVID and what we went through, something so simple like that text and the phone conversations on who are we in this with together. You absolutely need those partners that are going to go through the situation that you're going through, especially as you think about the future. And it was one of those moments, small, but that's what great partners do. They're there for each other in the seemingly insignificant little details, and you always remember that.